Welcome to the Growing Microgreens podcast. I'm your host, Diego, D-I-E-G-O, bringing you podcasts since 2013. Today it's a special episode. This is a blend of Chris Thoreau, who's a former microgreen grower, and myself. And Chris is going to be answering the question of blacking out microgreens. Is it worth it? Chris did an extensive trialing blacking out periods of different lengths to see if it made a difference at all. Let's find out. A common question for people who grow microgreens is if they should use a blackout stage. We did some tests to find out how the blackout stage affects the growth and quality of crops. Here's what we learned. First, let's explain what the blackout stage is.
There can be 4 basic stages in growing microgreens. Stage 1 is soaking the seed, which only applies to a few crops. There's the germination stage, the blackout stage, and the light stage. Now, during germination, seeds are typically sowed on top of the soil in a tray and then covered with another tray and some weight. And this step of covering the seeds with weight keeps the seeds in good contact with the soil so the seeds can effectively absorb the water they need to germinate. After a few days, the cover tray is removed, and then the growers then have 2 choices. One is they move the plants directly into the light to start photosynthesizing, or 2, they keep the plants in the dark, but without the weight. So to do this, growers flip the cover tray upside down over the plants, thus creating a dome over the crop, and this is the blackout stage.
Why use the blackout stage?
There are 2 reasons why growers use the blackout stage. One is to make the plants taller and easier to harvest, and 2 is an attempt to increase the yield of their crops. Intuitively, a taller crop would seem to be a heavier crop and thus have a higher yield.
We wanted to see if these reasons are true and what else happens with the blackout stage. Our test was simple. We grew broccoli in small trays for 8 days. We tested 0, 1, 2, and 3 days of blackout after 3 days of germination. We had 2 trays for each blackout period, making it a replicated trial. At harvest, we measured 1, crop height, how tall the plants were, 2, crop yield, the weight of the plants, 3, color and appearance, 4, flavor and texture, 5, how well they stored. Going into this trial, we had some guesses. First, more blackout days would make the plants look worse. Less light. 2, more blackout days would make the plants taller. Less light, they stretch more, they should be taller, right? 3, more blackout days would not increase yield. Despite being taller, they wouldn't necessarily be bigger or healthier. 4, more blackout days would make the plants taste worse. Less light, less photosynthesis, they must taste worse. 6, 3 days of blackout would be too much for broccoli.
I have personally used the blackout stage quite sparingly in my growing career, and overall I'm not a big fan because I always felt it compromised the quality of the crop, and I never felt my crops needed to be any taller or have a higher yield. And so while I went into these trials with an open mind, I was feeling pretty confident that these trials would confirm my experience that the blackout stage generally compromises crop quality. But I felt there may also be some benefits that I did not recognize as well, and maybe it wouldn't affect crop quality as much as I thought.
That's what Chris thought. Then he did a trial, and here's what he found. Crop height. He measured the average height of plants in the tray. He thought the longer the blackout, the taller the plants would be. But the tallest plants came from 1 day of blackout at 7.5 centimeters. No blackout and 2 days of blackout both had 7 centimeter tall plants, and 3 days of blackout had weak, bent plants, would have likely been much taller if they had had a straight stem. Crop yield. The average weight of the blackout periods were as follows. 0 days of blackout, 324 grams. The only significant difference was at 3 days of blackout was 308 grams. Longer blackout periods gave less yield.
The lower yield, which generally corresponds with a longer blackout period, is likely attributed to cell elongation, which occurs during the blackout stage. So even though the plants are bigger, so to speak, They are less dense because the plant cells are elongating to help the plant stretch in an effort to reach the light.
Crop appearance.
There were 4 aspects of the crop appearance that were affected by the blackout stage in our trial. The first was color. The longer the blackout period, the more pale the plants were. The period with no blackout had a very deep green plant, and 3 days of blackout resulted in very pale plants, with the 1 and 2 day blackouts being somewhere in between color-wise. The 1 day blackout was very close in quality to the crop with no blackout, but the 2 and 3 day blackout you could see were really much more pale. Now, the longer blackout also resulted in smaller leaves, and this means less photosynthesis when they eventually are exposed to the light. It also made the crop look a little kind of weak and wimpy. The third thing is the stem length and rigidity. The longer the blackout stage, the weaker and less rigid the crop stems were. And then overall, the longer blackout made the plants look generally worse. And that really is just a combination of the 3 aspects that we just looked at. In addition, the 3-day blackout yielded such poor results that it's unlikely it would be beneficial in any circumstance with any crop unless the goal of that crop was to completely avoid photosynthesis, as is the case with corn.
Eating texture and flavor.
Longer blackouts seem to make the plants chewier, for lack of a better description. And this is really distinct from having a fibrous texture, which is common when crops get over-mature. The 0 and 1 day blackout plants had a fairly normal texture, but the 2 and 3 day blackout plants were quite chewy. The flavor was variable between all the blackout periods, and it was kind of hard to tell, but it didn't actually seem that flavor was affected by the length of blackout at all.
How did the blackout period affect crop storage? All plants stored well for 10 to 14 days. Longer blackout plants spoiled a bit faster, but not enough to matter that much. So overall, blacking out the plants didn't affect storage.
Overall, the results of this trial really were mostly what we had expected, especially in the sense that crop quality declined as the blackout period got longer. I think the most notable thing for me was there was very little difference between no blackout and 1 day of blackout, but 2 and 3 days of blackout really stood out. So the length of blackout period is very important. Also, we had expected storage quality to decline more quickly with the longer blackout periods, but the trial actually showed that all the treatment stored for a good 10 days before seeing any deterioration. So even though the longer blackout periods did deteriorate sooner, that was happening way past any reasonable sort of storage time anyways, so it, in essence, was inconsequential.
Chris, based on this study, should growers consider using a blackout stage for broccoli?
After doing these trials, I just don't see a good reason to use the blackout stage for broccoli, which probably means that that's going to apply to all the brassicas and likely many of the related crops like the mustards and the radishes. So 1 day of blackout could help a little bit with height, but it does add an extra step and doesn't make a big difference. So in a business sense, if it's not making a difference, then it's probably not worth the effort.
Do you think these results would extend to other crops?
It is possible the blackout stage could be beneficial for other crops. We chose broccoli to do the initial trial because it's a very popular crop and there's a large number of brassica crops that grow very similar to broccoli. So one crop in particular that may benefit from the blackout stage is amaranth, and this is because it tends to put on very little height after being uncovered from the germination stage. So we will do some follow-up trials with some other crops, and we'll share the results of those soon so we can see if we are seeing some crops that really can benefit from this extra step.
That was one of the many trials that we do on a day-to-day basis here at Modern Grower, testing blackout with regards to crop yield. If there's other trials you want us to run, let us know by sending an email to microgreens@moderngrower.co, and we can run that trial for you and report the results right here on the podcast. Also, if you have any questions on this trial, send us an email, microgreens@moderngrower.co, and if you're looking for amazing, organic, pathogen-tested, non-GMO microgreen seeds, check out everything we have to offer at shop.moderngrower.co. Thanks for listening to this episode. Until next time, be nice, be thankful, and do the work.